Welcome back, everybody. Political Hot Seat live call-in show at 727-8750. I'm here with Sheriff candidate Sharon Wehrly, and we do have a caller on the line, and that is Trey. Trey, can you hear us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you, Sharon. You didn't elaborate very much on the budget. I'd really like to hear where some of the fat is, at least if you have seen the budget for the Sheriff's Department, where some of the budget you could swap or change out for the other, or trim for the other parts.
Didn't hear him.
He wanted to know if you know where there would be some of the fat where you could eliminate to bring, over to.
Oh, okay. Well, I know one right away, and that's the food services. Right now, the food services is being contracted out to a company, and that costs, from what I understand in the paper, I thought it was $500,000, but they've gotten it cut down to about $348,000. I feel that can probably be cut down more. Years ago, we fed people for $2.50 for all day, and that's an awful lot of money to be spending for some company to come in and do what our trustees could do in the past for a lot less money. So I'd look at that. I'd also look at using some of that money for people who, medical people for the jail, for both detention centers, because there's no medical assigned to that jail at all. If someone gets sick or someone gets hurt, they take a detention deputy and they take them to the local hospital or to a clinic. I think we can save money in that area.
Did that answer your question, if you're still there? Nope, you're gone? Okay, I got a question about that. Is you say an outside service.
Yes.
And that brought back something I thought of some years ago when they were talking about outside services coming from Las Vegas with the food services and the linens and that kind of stuff. Is that true?
As far as I know, yes.
Wouldn't it be more if we could get a service like right here in Pahrump or Nye County? Keep the money in Nye County?
Well, it would be nice if we could keep the money in Nye County. Now, as far as the cleaning of the uniforms and that kind of thing, they do have a contract with someone here. But I believe the food services people come from Las Vegas. And
they do that for that federal pen too, right? That comes from out of...
Now, I don't know anything about the federal pen.
Yeah, but I mean...
But I would imagine that they also contract with someone.
Can you imagine what their cost is?
I'm sure it's enormous.
A heck of a lot bigger than ours, right?
The other thing that I would do, and I'm planning on doing, is finding other revenue streams. Now, we have jails, detention centers that the beds are not always full. If we could rent those beds out, immediately we would have another revenue stream that would help us pay for a lot of things.
Right.
You have to be careful when you do that, of course, because they're paying for that bed all the time. They're not paying for it on a daily basis. They're paying for it on a yearly basis. So even if the bed's not being slept in, we're still getting paid for it.
So, okay, well, there is places where you save the money and put the money back on the streets for the protection of law-abiding people than catering to the ones that are in prison. Yeah. Okay, we do have another caller on the line, and name is Jan. Can you hear me, Jan?
Yes, I can. Bill,
go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't catch the name, the formal name of the endorsement entity that you were talking about earlier. It was kind of gone over very quickly, and I missed it. Could you tell me the official name of that entity?
Yes, it's the Nye County Law Enforcement Association.
Okay. Does that have any kind of an affiliation with a union?
That is the union.
That is the union. Okay. And also, I've never heard why Rick Marshall left Ventura County, and do you know why he left Ventura County, and the police department there let him go?
You want me to enter?
Actually, I do know, and I really don't think that that's something that I should be discussing. I believe I've seen everything that everybody else has seen, but I'm not going to talk about that on the air. Thank you very much.
Anything else while you're on the line? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, to me it would just be rumors because I'd never seen nothing, but I've always heard about. And the thing is,
even if I had the paperwork in my hand, I don't believe in that kind of thing. So no,
good.
I'm not going to discuss that.
It shows a lot of moral issues there where, you know, let's talk about the job and what we can do about the job, and
Yep, that's what it's about.
not slam somebody or their family or anything as such, you know. In the process of
people
it.
really have a choice here. They can vote for my opponent, and they can have things basically the same as they've always been, or they can vote for me, and we'll change it. We'll bring a new culture in to the sheriff's office. We'll make it a respectable place to work. We'll gain the respect of Nye County again, and we'll run an ethical, open, transparent department.
I don't see, I guess people couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Well, and people will get the law enforcement service that they're paying for, because they are paying for it. That's what they're paying their taxes for.
Right, and that's how come I've always worried about the budget for sheriff's department.
Absolutely.
Or the military, all the GIs out there and everything that. I feel so much of our tax money is wasted throughout the whole country, not just Nye County, on things other than protecting the people, the Constitution, and the laws of the land. You know, and
that's right. And you know, there's a lot of ways to look at the budget, and there's a lot of ways that you can think out of the box and use monies for the betterment of Nye County in general.
Right.
And still provide your law enforcement services to people throughout the county, not just in Pahrump.
Yeah, well, I believe that's where our government has gotten away from what is the most important thing, and that's our country and our Constitution and our laws.
You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, well, in fact, earlier today, that the whole mindset of the country is they've got a handout. You know, I need more money for this, and I need more money for that. And 50 years ago, 70 years ago, it was, what can I do for you? Now it's, what can you do for me?
Right.
I'd like to go back to, what can I do for you?
We're getting back to the John Kennedy speech.
No, he was my idol. I can't help it. And even though I'm a Republican right now, when I was way younger, John Kennedy was my idol.
You know, I honestly believe that if John Kennedy was alive today and running for office, he would be a Republican because...
Well, like he would be, because his philosophy was more Republican today than it was. Yeah. Well, things change.
Yeah, it's not what your country could do for you, but what you could do for the country. I mean, that's just the opposite of what they believe in today. You know, what I could get for nothing. But anyway, yeah, the budgets and that's obviously an important issue because it's always in the paper, so it must be right? If it's in the paper, it's got to be important. Anyway, we need to go to a commercial. We'll pick up on that when we get back.
I'm not sure I totally agree with that statement.